Hey guys, we're Owen and Lynn, and we RV to places that make our hearts and our bodies happy. Hard not to be happy about where we are right now, and we apologize for the sound of, well, the ocean behind us. But each week on Thursdays, we pop in almost live and we answer the questions that you guys have been asking us. And the reason we do that is we've learned the hard way. If we wait until we get back from a trip, most of the questions aren't relative anymore. So without any further ado, that's a funny word. I do. We said I do many years ago. Let's get into the questions.
Many of you have asked if we have an Amazon store. Yes, we do. We've had one for a really long time, but this week we worked on it and we actually deleted a lot of the old items and added the new ones that we've added for the Basecamp. You can find a link below, or you can go to Amazon and just key in Van Trekking Lifestyle and it'll show up there.
Our dear friend David from Jacksonville asked us, do you think you could see a SpaceX launch from Jonathon Dickinson, the state park that we were in last week, and we'll show you again this Sunday? Well, our first answer would be, heck no. It's a long ways off. But I did go out to ChatGPT and ask, and Chatty said, yes, you can. It's 80 to 90 miles south of Cape Canaveral, and if it's a completely clear day, and especially a clear evening, then you should be able to see it from the entrance to the park, from Hobie Mountain that's there, and a few other places that have no trees right in your sight line. So yeah, you could. Lynn and I've learned the hard way though. If you're going to see a SpaceX launch, we think you should go close to Cape Canaveral. Maybe go to the national seashore that's there like we did, because seeing it's one thing, but hearing it and then feeling it, seeing the sand popping up on right in front of you, that's the coolest thing ever. Something we'll remember for the rest of our lives. And you know, we've seen it go up, and was that it? Well, I think that was it, you know, and you don't see much. But man, when you can feel it and that sound just hits you and the birds start flopping up, it's an experience. It's something everyone should do once or twice or 10 times in your lifetime.
Lisa Wright asked, what brand of e-bikes do we have? We have the Velotrek Fold 1 Plus.
And they're sponsors of our channel.
They are sponsors of our channel. They are not on Amazon, but we'll put a link to their website below too. Yeah, and there's a discount for using the code VTL on there. And because they sponsored us, Owen actually did a video
of how we plan to use them and what they're like and the features, and in the video said we thought we were going to like them because they actually gave us the bike to review and to take with us on our trip out west last and they gave us 2 bikes so we'd have exactly the same, but we didn't know how they were going to work out and we didn't use them that much on that trip out west. But after being in Florida now for almost a month, what do you think, Rose?
I love them, and I love that we can put them in the back of the truck and they stay, you know, somewhat secure
and protected from the elements. And at night we'll roll them into our room that's right over here, and you may have seen the video last week where we wrestled with that bike room thing, and we've started just using the clamshell, the clam quick set. So those are the bikes. They're about $1,500 or so if you buy them from the store. They have sales all the time, and if you need a folding bike, they're the lightest and the best ones we've found so far that are not carbon fiber.
Big Jim Slade asked, where do we get the baskets under the bed for the Basecamp? And we got those from Amazon, and now that the Amazon store is updated, you'll be able to find them there. But they are great and they work really good.
CB Vet jokingly asked, who thought it was a really good idea to put a spatula cam into this video? And I did. I'm always trying to get different vantage points so that you can not only see what we do but feel like you're experiencing it. And you know, I was using a metal spatula, which I got a lot of comments about during the video. It shouldn't have been doing that, but when you can't find your other one, you use what you have and your hands get burned. So I used it, but Lynn didn't particularly like it when I first showed it to her. I think it grew on you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it did fog up the lens when I went to scoop in. But now you know what it's like to be a spatula.
Chris Iwan asked, did we get the Smartcap replaced yet?
No, but I did get my regularly scheduled bi-monthly email that says we're still thinking about you and we're going to do it. I've begun to wonder what that means.
Yeah. We get an email every other month.
We do. It seems like they send us an email.
The next couple of questions are about traveling with the dog.
First one is Mark Reed asks, do you guys strap Maggie in when you're driving? We never see you do that. And well, do we?
Used to.
We do.
Used to when we had the Ekko. She sit in the back seat, and we strapped her in there just because we didn't want her walking around everywhere.
And we could keep her safe. We feel like we can kind of hold on to her, but we do realize that it would be safer if we would strap her in. It's just in the truck situation, I haven't figured out a way to do that yet.
We need to work on that.
We need to work on that. And thank you for reminding us about that. Maggie won't thank you because she does not like it. And a lot of times she seems to be the queen that we do everything that she wants done. But we're going to work on that this week.
Karen asked about having a big dog and using the Ekko bed. So what do you think about that?
Well, my first initial reaction was that if you have an Ekko like we did, it was one of Maggie's easiest beds to get up into. And I thought, wow, it'll be no problem for even a bigger dog, because that very first step is the one that was hardest for Maggie. And she would hop up to where she wanted to, and she would hop down on not the top step, but the middle one. It was okay. But then you pointed out that if you set it up as a king, that may be what they're talking about.
And I don't think that would work because it's just way too high, even for a big dog to be able to jump up on the bed.
It would probably end up being a situation like we had in the Revel, which was that lower down bed. One of us would have to get up and get her when she started whining and put her up in bed in the morning when she wanted to snuggle. I don't think you could even, I don't know how big the dog is, but you could use like what we have for Maggie with the little ottoman with our shoes in it. You could use something like that, but I still think that the bed might still be too high. And if you have a big dog and you have a twin, well, one of the beds, the one on the passenger side, is a little more narrow and not as long as the other one. And if the dog likes to sleep on that side for whatever reason, if it's a big dog, there's not going to be a lot of room in that bed like that.
I had an issue with Maggie taking up half the bed. So
it's getting hot out here.
It is. I'm sweating.
One Life Living It. That's an awesome YouTube name, by the way. Ask, how do you keep Maggie moving so well? At one point a year or two ago, thanks for watching that long too, by the way. At one point a year or two ago, she looked like she was a lot stiffer when she walked, a lot more stiff in her movements than she looks like now. Is that just our imagination?
Well, I mean, I think Maggie goes through stages. Sometimes she does a whole lot better than other times. And we've kind of been working on that. And these are some of the things that we've tried to do to help her live her best life.
So first, we try to keep her busy, which means we take her for lots of walks. When we're home, we'll usually walk 2 to 3 miles per day with her, in the morning before it gets really hot and in the evening after it cools down.
But they're short walks. They're not like, 3 miles at one time.
Right. And she knows her limit there, and she knows which heels that she'll sit and rest on.
And we have to do it when it's cooler too. So we can't do it when it's hot.
But it still comes down to the fact that we have to know her limits. She's going to try to go with us every single time we go, and we have to be responsible for that. And if you have a dog, you're going to learn what they can and can't do. Like yesterday, one of her favorite walks is over on the marina side here at Bahia Honda, and it's walking around the marina and seeing all the wildlife and all the fish and sometimes the manatees. But we're a mile away from that since we're at Sandspur. So if we walked her over there, by the time we got that mile done, she would be so tired that she couldn't enjoy her favorite walk, and then she would have to walk back. So yesterday, instead of doing that, we put her in her Toto basket on the back of the bike, which she loves more than anything. Took her out, we went for her walk. And then about 3/4 of the way through what we thought was going to be the perfect walk, she just sat down and said,
I'm done.
I'm done,
but
guys.
It was hot. She has to do it your own time.
She does, doesn't she? Does that feel better, buddy?
Yeah.
The wind in your face.
She's really good.
and my basket. I'm happy now. Yeah, is that a grin, guys? It's that
Look at those ears blowing back.
that right there.
I'll take a nap.
And second, I think she has zero stress. Well, except lately,
Believer, yeah.
she's been having separation anxiety. But when you have less stress in your life, even as humans, we're healthier, I think, don't you?
Yeah, most definitely. And third, we control her diet, or we try to. We give her a limited amount of table food. Owen's not as good as I am about that. And we've also started adding a refrigerated protein-based food that we heat up with her every night, and she absolutely loves it. Helps her eat her kibble better, and
She loves it.
yeah, so she's eating better.
Every now and then, give her an additive as a joint supplement too,
Right.
about 2 or 3 times a week. And maybe that's what you're seeing too, because we can tell a difference a day or two after that. She seems to be better.
I just want to say too, Maggie is 13 years old.
Right.
So, you know, when she was a pup, we didn't worry about all
We
these
didn't.
things. So as she's getting older, we're trying to do a little bit more to help her out.
So the last thing we've noticed that's kept her healthier is she's starting to have, for the last year or so, good poops. I know that sounds weird, but for the longest time she didn't until we got her diet just right. We've started giving her Glandex pills with each one of her meals at night, and she's having good poops. And you know, when you get to be a certain age, really all you care about, whether you're a dog or you're a person, is a comfortable place to sit down, something exciting to do every day, and a good poop.
So that's it for the questions this week. If you want us to answer just about anything, just leave it in the comments below and we'll try to do our best.
And Sunday's video coming up this week is going to be our second stop at another campground at Jonathon Dickinson. And it's all about laughing. Mainly, well, her laughing at me because I was a mess a couple of times. It's a happy video for us. It's kind of like laughing in the face of the coldest day Florida's ever had. I will warn you about this. Some of you drink coffee when you watch us, and most of you that watch us love us. Make sure you're careful about when you have coffee in your mouth during the video that's coming up Sunday. And until we see you then, be safe, be kind, and do the things that make you happy and healthy and make you laugh, even if you have to laugh at yourself.